Politics. Today we are be looking at Cancún Cruz, better known as Ted Cruz, the senior United States Senator from Texas, and he has just messed up all of his political chances and probably his re-election bid after ditching his home state of Texas in their major power outage. Well, let's check out this video from the New York Times.
Keep working to get the grid reopened, to get power restored, to get water back on. A lot of Texans are hurting, and this crisis is frustrating. It's frustrating for millions of Texans. It shouldn't happen.
And so wait, let's just get past that. But now if we look at the New York Times, I mean, so many people have struggled. 58 people died. It's just disappointing. And he won't face the voters until 2024. But the fact is, everyone is talking about him. Everyone was talking about him as a potential 2024 candidate after he stood with Trump about the election. But then he just messed up. I mean, he forced a shutdown with the 21-hour speech. He was a hero among conservatives. If they went to the primaries, he might still win. But the fact is, now he just have never chance. Singapore? What? That doesn't make sense. But okay. Oh, it's my VPN. Okay, but now back to the point. Ted Cruz had a political future, an amazing future, and he just messed that up. I mean, look at the outage map. So many people. I mean, if you look here, at Tuesday, 12:15 p.m., 4.4 million people without power. That's a big problem, and it's a major issue. And that's why, I mean, it was extremely cold, way colder than usual. And that's why I believe that Ted Cruz messed up his political career. Look, if we look over here, Cruz won. He got 56%, 16% over the other candidate. First term. Now, here, 2018. Arizona, they flipped. Christian Sinema, Jackie Rosen won Nevada. In Indiana, Mike Braun won it back from Donnelly. West Virginia, Joe Manchin held the seat. Kevin Kramer got it back from Heidi Heitkamp. And here, Josh Hawley, the American hero. This is where he won a seat. And Rick Scott won his seat from Bill Nelson here. Very close race. But the interesting one for me, at least, was Texas. Because it is one of those. It became a toss-up. No one actually thought if it was worried about it at all. But then Democrats just came in and they won that seat. It was just completely shocking. No one expected it, especially not me. And that's why it's interesting. Because, what am I saying? The Democrats, Beto O'Rourke, no one even cared about him. Ted Cruz was busy doing his own stuff. But then it became competitive, shockingly. And then Democrats got really worried. And what happened was Ted Cruz campaigned heavily, got lots of dark money. But if you look at this, a Democrat statewide in Texas, Beto got 48.3%. That's a lot for a Democrat on a statewide election in Texas. And after what Cruz did just recently, he might just lose his seat if Beto does it again. I think Texans will remember that Ted Cruz was the center, the man who deserted us during our time of crisis. Even John Cornyn, the other senator from Texas, he criticized Texas. He criticized Cruz, although not directly, but he still did. It's just interesting how Cruz really didn't care about his political future at all. And if you look at the seats, Texas became a toss-up. It was a Republican expected to easily win. Then it was somewhere in between these two. And then just before the election was here, and by election day, it was right here. That's why it's so interesting. But yeah, Ted Cruz, we'll miss you. No, we won't. But the fact is, Ted Cruz messed up big time. I mean, he has time to repair his image. His next election, where he has to face the voters, in 2024. If he goes for a Republican primary, they won't care a damn about what he did. Excuse my language. But the fact is, they really but if he goes to the GOP primaries, he might just win that seat. He might win that seat. It's a fact because of how it works. He might win the seat because the GOP doesn't care the Republican Party. If Trump doesn't run, of course. But Ted Cruz stayed with Trump the whole way. If Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz are the kind of people who are probably going to win, not Mike Pence or Nikki Haley of South Carolina. But Ted Cruz might just be the next president. We get that. But the interesting part is the fact that Cruz might have just given up his Senate seat. I mean, he probably won't win the primaries because he wasn't that popular at that time and stuff. He might win, but he just gave this Senate seat to the Democrats, for sure. No question about that. And that's why Democrats should be celebrating after Ted Cruz's Cancun expedition. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching 10 Politics.